That's to be 95% or greater in the one and only Tater. Like Pater. Who's Pater? Who's Peter? Who's sweeter Peter? Who's sweeter Peter Palpin? Or is it Pal Pun? Pun intended? Or who's Michael Jackson? Who shined like the sun? Who shined like the sun? It is the son of Met 11 sent from heaven. Is the son of Met 11 sent from heaven? Of course it is. Nothing shines like the sun. Nothing shines like the sun. But Michael Jackson, he shined. He shined. And he redefined music. And he redefined movement. Oh, nobody could move and groove like Michael Jackson. That honey. Always in the one and only smile. Always in the one and only heart. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. A more than obvious Met 11 sent from heaven. So Michael Jackson, he's up here in the dear and clear part of the spirit world where all his dreams unfurl. And he'll never, ever, 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 for a long, long, long time, have to go back down there to the undear and unclear Mother Earth. Because he passed 111 year at best test. 95% are greater in the one and only smart, in the one and only heart. And it's so easy for Michael Jackson and sweeter Peter Palpin and Davidio Heaven Palpin. In other words, it's more than obvious. There's a wrong and there's a right. And the right is full of light. And the right is full of bright. And full of more than any simple insight. Because you cannot quarrel with a moral. You cannot quarrel with a moral. More than floral, that statement without even .00 and forever owes 1% of any debatement. And not full of any whatsoever, even clever lever hate-ment. A moral. Ah yes, ah yes. Ah yes, oh yes. Ah yes, oh yes. Ah yes. Oh yes. And what about the SS? What about Adolf Hitler? Killing millions and millions of people. Do you really think I love Adolf Hitler because I'm in the forgiveness of business? Do you think I love all those human beings that slaughtered the American Indians who were on the inside, not full of pride and snide? And they never hide, or was it hid from the one and only? From the one and only. But they knew the verse of the universe. Ah yes they did, ah yes they did. Ah yes, ah yes, ah yes, they did. And so the light-tan men and women came to the new world and found these beautiful, not beautiful souls. Dark bronze tone, these dark tan men and women, high cheekbones, eyes as bright as the light. Ah yes, ah yes, ah yes, ah yes. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. And so what happens to uglies and smugglies and down wrong fugglier than any fugglies on this God-forsaken planet when they don't stay and play in the one and only smart, in the one and only heart for their 111-year gestation. Well, they failed, derailed, for not sailing in the one and only smart, in the one and only heart, for being lost in the frost, in the jealousies full of disease and sleeves, full of more than any jealous and selfish and envious fish, not a dish, in the one and only heart, in the one and only smart. So can Sweeter Peter Powell really do these soliloquies with the ease of the breeze, blowing the leaves on the trees, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Or is that only possible when the one and only Sikh is channeling and paneling in him? Sweeter Peter Powell. But this isn't about Sweeter Peter Powell, this soliloquy. This is about the one that's free. For a long, long, long time, Michael Jackson will be in the dear and clear. 22 years young. The entire time, for all his shine and unslime, in 12 lifetimes, passing 95% or greater in the one and only Creator. And Tater, like Pater. But you see, Pater got this job though in this lifetime he's never been able to afford Microb, but he never sobbed, because he always knew that one day he would have success like no other. Him and his brother like no other, the Barbarian brothers. He gave the uglies and the smugglies and the fugglies and the down wrong fugglier than any fugglies, the more than any drugs. Just like Michael Jackson. And what do these three superheroes have in common? Well, they're all children at heart, in the one and only smart. And they all dress not for less. They dress like this, Kiss of Blue. They all dress like superheroes, not like Fierro, not even like Robert De Niro. And they didn't care what the dress code was. They dressed the way they liked. They created their own style, mile for mile. So dial up the movie DC Cab and see how the Barbarian brothers, like no other, were dressing way back when, before all the rappers and R&B singers were dressing like those two cats in those hats. I wonder who created that look, those big baggy shirts and those baggy jeans.